I believe this is going to be one of the coolest areas in GTA 6. It's going to be whatever Rockstar decides to call their in-game parody of Disney World. And not only do I believe this was confirmed, albeit slightly through the leaks, but also thanks to an interesting presentation that a Rockstar Games employee did a couple of years ago. So I'll leave a link to it in the description. If you look up the YouTube channel GDC, which stands for the Game Developers Conference, in 2009, Rockstar North's Miriam Bellard actually talked about environmental design as spatial cinematography in theory and practice. And throughout this presentation, she references Disney World a lot. And I feel like this is more than just a coincidence, because I feel like Rockstar would have had to done a lot of research at Disney World in order to get it right for whatever fictional version they have in GTA 6. I'll let you guys take a listen to what she had to say right now, and then we'll talk about it.
So something else, and this here is, I just want to give a bit of nuance on this one. So there is a concept called weenies, which a lot of you will be familiar with. And because every time I've given a test of this talk, people have asked me to spell it out, that's W-E-E-N-I-E-S. It is the German word for sausage. So the term was coined by Walt Disney, and the idea is that a weenie leads the guest in the same way that a sausage leads a dog. Weenies absolutely work, like there's no doubt about it, but the reason they work is because of the mystery element. So weenies have two aspects to them. They are a landmark and they have mystery. A landmark by itself is incredibly useful and incredibly important in terms of the wayfinding for the player, but if you want to actually lead the player to the landmark, you need to add mystery. I'm going to be talking about mystery later, so we will come back to this one. So as we talked about before, mystery also attracts the player. How this is working in terms of affordances is that the affordance is that there is information for us to learn. As humans, we very much like learning information. So what is going on here is that the castle in this case is promising us that if we move closer, there will be more for us to learn. Now, how it is doing it in this particular situation is with the very interesting profile and with the extra detail on the architecture that tells us that there is stuff to discover if we get closer. The secondary prospect that I was talking about before, that is also about mystery. If we move closer to that spot, we will get a view, and of course a view is information. So the classic example here would be Disneyland. So what they do when you go between spaces in Disneyland is they create stylistic transitions. So what you're looking at, the red arrows are elements of one style. It is a little bit hard to see, I'm afraid, but you can always go to Disneyland, see it? Yeah. So the red elements are, the red arrows are pointing to elements of one style, the yellow to elements of the other style. So they're things like lampposts and handrails and stuff like that that it's pointing to. And the orange one doesn't fit either. As you can see, there isn't an abrupt transition. They slowly stop one and introduce another. So there are moments right in the middle there where you actually get lampposts of one style that are sitting over the top of handrails of another style. So they are creating stylistic dissolves between area, and again, they're laying them out over space, but they are experienced over time.
So she referenced Disney World a lot there, and from what we know from the GTA 6 leaks that happened back in September 2022, and maybe Rockstar decided to scrap this, maybe they didn't, but there is an event in-game called Fairy World Forest Puzzle, and I can only imagine that Fairyland is going to be the parody of Disney World, because we know, obviously, the game is set in the state of Leonida, and we know that Disney World is located in Orlando, Florida, which is basically in the middle of the state. So we would see this closer to the northern central part of the map. Now, kind of an interesting fun fact, back in the original GTA Vice City, you could actually find advertisement billboards talking about Fun World, which was a direct reference to Disney World. Now, I think Rockstar is going to call it Fairyland or Fred's Land or whatever their fictional version is going to be. And the reason I used Fred's World is because Rockstar already has an established character in the Grand Theft Auto series for Walt Disney and Disney World. So there's an in-game character, his name is Fred Quincy, and he is the founder of Fred's Pictures film studio. And in single player, his character is primarily used during the murder mystery, but if you're wondering who he's influenced by, he appears to be based on Walt Disney, as he is the founder of the GTA series equivalent, Walt Disney Pictures, and his name sounds similar to Fred Quimby, the producer of many of the Tom and Jerry and MGM cartoons. And Fred's Pictures is a children's film production company that is featured in GTA 5 and Grand Theft Auto Online. They are a direct parody of the Walt Disney Company and to a lesser extent Pixar, and their mascot is a 1930s styled wolf who looks very similar to Mickey Mouse. So Rockstar already has the foundation to create sort of a Disney World-like parody, and they also have a history of adding theme parks in the Grand Theft Auto series. Like for example, in GTA 5, you have the Del Perro Pier, which is also known as the Pleasure Pier. In Grand Theft Auto 4, Liberty City has Funland, which is kind of a amusement park as well that has small roller coasters and a Ferris wheel. In Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, you can also see an advertisement for an amusement park. It's called Glory Hole Theme Park, although we don't actually have access to it. But in Grand Theft Auto 4, it does have its own website, gloryholethemepark.com. So long story short, I think there is a really good chance we are going to get a fictional version of Disney World in Grand Theft Auto 6. And knowing Rockstar, there's going to be their handful of mysteries, Easter eggs, secrets, things to do, people to run into. And according to the leaks, and we don't know if that is going to be in the final version of the game, but there's going to be some sort of puzzle associated with the park. I always find this stuff to be so much fun. Is it going to be a murder mystery? Is there going to be like a hidden treasure where Fred buried like millions of dollars, and if you complete the puzzle, that's your prize and that's your reward? They can do some really cool stuff with this. Rockstar is going to make fun of pretty much probably everything you could imagine with Disney World, and they're going to get away with it because they're going to call it Fairyland or Fred's World or something along those lines. All the signs are there, not only from the leaks, but from the lore that Rockstar's already built in with having Fred and Fred's Pictures in GTA 5, and also what Rockstar Games designers and employees are casually talking about in game developer conferences. It might not mean much, but the fact that you already know so much about Disney World, to me implies that you've done a lot of research on it, and you would have had to do a lot of research on it if you were going to feature it in what is arguably going to be the biggest game of all time, certainly the biggest GTA title of all time. But anyways, I'd love to hear from you guys in those comments down below. Do you think we are going to be getting a GTA 6 version of Disney World in Leonida? Let me know what you think in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the GTA 6 videos that I'll be doing here on my channel, and be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.